Fox Sports 1 is a sorry excuse for sports broadcast journalism. The biggest problem I have with their garbage programming is the dumpster fire of a show that is Undisputed, but the rest of their network isn't a whole lot better. So first we have to look at the major players on FS1. You have Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, Jason Whitlock, and a few other morons whose terrible shows don't really deserve any discussion, like Colin Cowherd. But in fact, this is going to be a part one because I'm going to save part two for the other idiots since Undisputed has so many flaws to discuss. So looking through Skip Bayless's Twitter kind of tells you all you need to know about how FS1 milks viewers. I would argue that the most polarizing athlete in America, solely based on their skill level, is probably LeBron James. And the GOAT debate is a pretty basic discussion that's bland and won't really change on a day-to-day basis. So for mainstream shows, they can discuss it every once in a while, but there's really no need to beat the dead horse with such a vanilla topic. So discussing it every day is pretty pointless. But let's look at Skip's Twitter to see what Undisputed is discussing these days. On April 13th, today, we have, quote, "How did LeBron once lose 2 straight games of horse to a little guy who didn't play pro basketball?" Next on Undisputed. From April 9th, "2 of the best 4 options for the greatest shot ever saved LeBron's legacy. If it weren't for Ray Allen and Kyrie, LeBron would be 1-8 in the finals." More at Undisputed, now on FS1. April 6th. "If Jordan won the toss in the horse game versus LeBron, he'd go right to the free throw line, swish one, turn to LeBron and say, quote, 'You always choke these. Your turn.' And then LeBron would have an H. Jordan. Most psychologically destructive trash talker ever." Also from April 6th. "Michael Jordan in his prime was a better clutch three-point shooter than LeBron has ever been. See the shrug game from Game 1 of the finals. As a much better mid-range shooter and far better free throw shooter and a more athletic hang-time finisher. So LeBron could beat him now at horse." April 3rd. "Why does LeBron have to keep telling us how great he's been? Jordan would have never done that." Next on Undisputed. I think you get the idea. Undisputed talks about LeBron on a daily basis to milk viewers, and it's not even good content. Let's break this down. First, there's Skip talking about how LeBron lost a game of horse to a random dude one time. Who even cares? Horse doesn't make you a better player than someone, neither does one-on-one. In fact, winning a game of horse doesn't even make you a better shooter than someone. Hell, retired Chauncey Billups beat Trae Young in a game of horse the other day. Does that make Chauncey a better player or shooter than Trae? Also, obviously LeBron has so many other skills that you wouldn't even be able to see from a game of horse. So what does it matter? The record holder for most free throws in a row was a 71-year-old who'd never played in the NBA. So does that make him a better shooter than Steph Curry by Undisputed logic? Next, Skip talks about how Ray Allen and Kyrie saved LeBron's legacy, which is somewhat fair, until you realize that Bill Russell won a championship because of Havlicek's steal, Kareem won a championship because of Magic's baby skyhook, and Jordan won the finals on Steve Kerr's three-pointer against the Jazz. Sure, Ray Allen's shot is the most clutch shot ever, and the Heat would have probably lost the finals if he didn't hit it, but it's still a stupid narrative. Then we have Skip giving his reasoning for why Jordan would kill LeBron in horse. But again, why does it matter? He also says Jordan was a way better clutch three-point shooter than LeBron and cites the shrug game. But first of all, Jordan was an average three-point shooter at best. And by his logic, I could cite LeBron's buzzer-beater 3 in the playoffs on the Magic. It really doesn't matter. I don't even like LeBron. I think Jordan's better all time. But I wouldn't never explain that I think Jordan is better because I think he would have won a game of horse. Also, this is another example of Skip's flawed logic because he's backing up his opinion that he thinks Jordan is the GOAT by explaining that he thinks Jordan would win a game of horse. There's no actual logic there. It's like saying you think that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback ever because you think his throws look the best. How can anyone disprove that? It's just your opinion. There's no numbers there. And finally, we have Skip criticizing LeBron for saying he's the GOAT, which I think is fair. And personally, that's something I don't like about LeBron. But that has to do with his personality. It has nothing to do with him as a player. The only thing that's wrong with this is that Skip says, quote, "Jordan would never have done that," end quote. Now, Jordan has said publicly that the GOAT debate is stupid and he wouldn't compare himself to past legends that he's never played against. But Jordan also recalled a story in an interview where he told OJ Mayo, quote, "You may be the greatest high school player, but I'm the greatest ever." So this is another example of something, as Skip says, that is just completely not true. So it's safe to say Undisputed's content is pretty garbage considering they cycle between two sports, basketball and football, and pretty much only two athletes, LeBron and on a regular basis Tom Brady as well. Unfortunately, this is Skip's frequently terrible logic, and it's not really exclusive to him. So in future videos, I'm going to break down the equally horrendous flaws exhibited by fellow LeBron hater Jason Whitlock, LeBron fanboys Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp, and also maybe a few other terrible sports commentators like Colin Cowherd or Chris Broussard. Stay safe, remain indoors, and for the love of God, don't help FS1's ratings and enable them to produce this crap. Adios.